Welcome back to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn all about love, sex, and how to have the best relationships you possibly can. I am Jamie Lynn, and today we are going to be talking about losing strategies in relationship. This comes from Terry Real's Relational Life Therapy, which is a couples therapy model that I love, and I often suggest that any couple who wants to see me, if they want a book, if they're the kind of people that want to do like their own research, this is the book to read. This is The New Rules of Marriage by Terry Real, and it basically takes you through all the steps of relational life therapy. So if you're looking for a resource, buy this book. I will link it below. It is awesome. But let's talk about the 5 losing strategies in relationship. And we always have to start with the losing strategies and then move towards the winning strategies, because you can't change the things that you're doing unless you know what you're doing wrong. And all of us learn things in relationship that don't actually help. So please do not beat yourself up about this. Instead, just let yourself reflect on these 5 losing strategies with openness, with curiosity, with the knowledge that you probably do all 5 to some extent, even a little bit, and that it does not make you a bad person or a bad partner. Instead, it's just an opportunity to reflect on your behavior and change that behavior now that you're aware of it. And it does take time. It is a practice like anything else. So be gentle with yourself and understand that none of this makes you bad. These parts that do these things are not bad. Instead, it's really just that you learned something whenever you were younger about relationship that helped you back then, and it's no longer helpful, and you can change it. Okay, let's dive in. The 5 losing strategies. I will list them first, then we'll go into detail. They are needing to be right, controlling your partner, unbridled self-expression, retaliation, and withdrawal. So let's start with the first one, needing to be right. Almost everyone I know in relationship does this to some extent. They have an idea in their mind of what the truth is, big T truth. And often their partner has a different idea in their mind of what is true. And each one is fighting for what they believe to be right. And something that Terry Real says is the relational answer to who's right is, who cares? That is the relational answer. In the end, it does not actually matter. So I may convince myself that my partner is not interested in connecting with me. I may be absolutely sure that that is true, and I have gathered evidence why that is true. They haven't been wanting to talk as much, they haven't been wanting to have sex, they haven't been wanting to go on dates, whatever the case may be. Or maybe they are doing those things, but they're checked out. And so I've convinced myself of this rightness. My partner does not want to connect to me. And all of my interactions, I'm first going to be trying to confirm my rightness. I'm going to be saying in some way or another, you don't want to connect with me. And really, in the end, the thing I'm trying to get is connection. That's why I'm bringing this up. But if I'm actually right, and if I'm fighting for my rightness, then I'm going to be pushing that person away more and more. You don't want to connect with me. What's the matter? Why don't you want to connect with me? What's wrong? Rather than, if instead of having to be right, I let myself be more open and curious, what might be happening with my partner? Could something be going on that they seem less connected? Maybe it is true that they haven't been wanting to connect, but maybe it has absolutely nothing to do with me, and there's actually something going on with them. And if I moved into curiosity and compassion, it would help them open up more, and I would get the connection I'm looking for. And so the need to be right blocks our ability to be intimate with another person, to be relationally healthy with another person. And so just kind of take stock. Are you the sort of person who wants to be right? Do you have a story in your mind about what is true, and you are unyielding even if your partner has a different story of what is true. Maybe in that same example I gave a moment ago, the partner is like, no, it's not true that I don't want to connect. I'm having trouble right now connecting, which is not the same thing. But if I'm committed to being right, then I'm going to be like, see, you're not connecting. What's the matter with you? That's a little exaggerated, but it's true. It happens sometimes. Okay, so let's move into the next one. Controlling your partner. This one's pretty straightforward. Controlling your partner is attempting to change their behavior in some way. So it could be all kinds of things. I'm going to stick with this example I gave of wanting to connect. If I am wanting more connection and I'm telling myself that my partner's not connecting with me, then controlling them might look like telling them things along the lines of, you need to take me on a date at least once a week. You need to talk to me and ask me how my day went. You need to do this or that in order to help me feel connected. Otherwise, I'm going to be unhappy. I might leave the relationship and we will continue to have conflict. So why is this a losing strategy? One, it's kind of simple. This is pretty obvious. People don't like being controlled. When there's an experience of another person attempting to be controlling of us, most of the time what happens is rebellion against that. The desire to really assert their own autonomy, either by making more distance or by just brushing them off and leaving in some way. I'm either going to do whatever I want and not talk to you about it anymore, or I'll leave the relationship. And the other reason why controlling your partner is a losing strategy is because it's not possible. It is not possible to control another person's behavior, ever. So the next losing strategy is unbridled self-expression. And basically what this one means is I am going to tell you every single thing that is happening inside of me in a flood. And usually the feeling of it is, what does Terry call this? He's like, this is the barf bag way of being in relationship, where I've got all these feelings inside and I'm gonna barf them onto you. And I feel better, but now you're in a pile of disgustingness because I've just thrown all of these unpleasant feelings onto you. I've let everything out in an unbridled way, and now you have to deal with it. And it's not relationally healthy for many reasons. One is this style of expression usually does not actually resolve what's happening inside of the person who's doing it. I might get everything out in that one moment of upset where I've screamed and cried or done whatever I have done in order to get all the feelings out. And then it happens again the next time I feel that way, the next time I think about the affair, or I think about my partner's alcohol use, or I think about our children or money or whatever it is that brings up that feeling and the unbridled self-expression. And then the other thing is, it leaves your partner in a space where they can't actually do anything about this. They just have to take it. The emotional outpouring, it's not a vulnerable share. It's not inviting connection. Instead, it's really simply just vomiting up all of the painful feelings with no solution and just kind of reliving it over and over and over again in the relationship. Unpleasant. The fourth losing strategy is retaliation. This one is what causes so much pain in the world. Not only does this happen in relationships between partners, but this happens globally. This happens between tribes and countries and governments. But basically what retaliation is the idea that you hurt me somehow, and so now I get to hurt you in return. And not only that, but because you started it, I get to hurt you even more than you hurt me. And so if we use just a purely physical analogy, if you push me, then I get to punch you. And so on and so forth. it escalates. In relationship, it probably looks a little different. For some people, it actually might be physical violence, but for most of us, it's going to look more like, you hurt my feelings in some way, and so I'm going to hurt you in return. And that might be through words, the things that I might say that I know are going to cut deep, or it might be through actions. You did something I don't like, so I'm not going to invite you out to dinner with me, and I'm going to take myself out, or I'm going to go with a best friend to this concert that you're really excited about. Whatever the case may be, some kind of retaliation, some behavior that's meant to be punishing towards the other person. I'm going to hurt you so that you know how badly I hurt. And then the last one is withdrawal. Withdrawal is moving out of the relationship in some way. And this can happen a couple of different ways. This could be a more passive-aggressive withdrawal, which has a little bit of a punishing feel to it. I'm going to pull back so you know I'm upset. Or it could be out of a space of wanting to avoid conflict. Something's off, I don't feel good about our relationship, but I'm going to withdraw because that's easier than talking about it. And the things I might withdraw are time together, sharing my emotions, sharing physical touch with you. This one's really common with people who are conflict avoidant, where it's not that they don't love each other and want to be connected, it's just that they cannot handle conflict, and so they might just kind of begin to lead separate lives, withdrawing from the relationship in that way, because in order to stay in the relationship and for it to be healthy, there's things that they need to talk about, and it's too hard, so they just drift apart. Or it could be more of the punishing behavior of withdrawal, where you've upset me and I want you to know that I'm upset, but I don't know how to talk to you about it, and so I'm just going to go cold. I'm going to put a freeze into the air so that you know that something's off. So again, as you think about these 5 losing strategies in relationship, let yourself be open and honest. Take stock of times whenever you've done any one of these, because we all do them all to some extent. We tend to have ones that are like our primary pattern of behavior, the things that we typically go to. But most of us do all 5 of these to some extent. And so just taking stock without judgment towards yourself, be curious about which ones do I do and how do I do them? What exactly does it look like? When's the last time I did it? And know that by doing this inventory, checking out the ways in which you're acting against relational health, usually unintentionally, always unintentionally, I think. We just don't know better. You can't do something different until you know about it. And even if you do know, oh, this isn't working, sometimes it takes a while to really understand it. So let yourself go slow with this. Just gently, curiously explore, what am I doing in my relationships that is not working? And know that this is a generous gift. This work of exploring what you're doing that negatively impacts your relationship, this is a gift to yourself, because you will grow into a healthier, more loving partner, and it is a gift to the person that you care about, because your relationship will change because of the work you're doing. So be gentle with yourself. Don't be judgmental, just be curious as much as you can. If you find this video helpful, please share it with people you care about. I appreciate the support. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in future videos where we'll talk about love and relationship. Bye for now.